Yeah.
I- I'll start off with jungle just because there is more. Why? Every time I log onto my NA account, my volume settings reset. I'm going to start with jungle just because there's a bit more early impacts to worry about in jungle. But
Yeah.
okay, so you're playing
Sounds
top side.
good.
Oh,
You
so
guys are silver, right? If I recall.
Yes.
Okay, so I will also say now, a lot of the stuff I'm going to say is going to be crazy advanced, and you don't really have to worry about in ranks that are like pre-plat, but it's just like kind of good to know about, or at least keep in the back of your mind. And if it like doesn't make sense or you have questions, just ask. Like I'm gonna say a lot of stuff that is like you're really not gonna need to worry about for a long time. And I don't know how seriously you guys take the game, or if you just play casually or play ranked. I'm just very enthusiastic about League, in short.
I hear you. Okay,
So
that's
yeah, just
cool.
feel free to
Sounds
ask
good.
as much stuff as you want to, because I will be talking a lot otherwise.
No worries. That's cool.
Okay, so Swain mid, I take it. Ashley in a bot lane against Lux Vayne action. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start with jungle just because jungle actually you need to think about what you're doing a little bit at this point in the game already.
Mhm.
But as a jungle player, do you just kind of auto path to like a certain clear, like a bot clear, and for the better leash and go top side, or like start here and go top side,
Oh
or do
no,
you have a different way of how
yeah.
do you approach the mentality?
So I try to take into consideration the lanes and how volatile I expect them to be. I also take into consideration that my support is my duo, so I may be able to make some kind of plays with her since
Yeah.
I'm gonna be connect, since I can go down there and make something
Okay, yeah,
happen more
perfect. The
consistently.
the consideration stuff as just to what your other lanes matchup are is like the most important thing to worry about this stage. As a
Yeah,
Poppy, this is a very good game for you to play into, obviously. So
yeah, that's what I picture. Yeah,
yeah, no, super
pretty
good comp.
much.
So I would always start bot side here for
Mhm.
obvious reasons, as Mordekaiser is a good early game duelist. It's very easy for Poppy to lock down a Tryndamere, and similar to Akshan, it's fairly easy for you to lock down an Akshan. Um, like the bot is still good because you can cancel a Vayne early, and you can. I mean, the Lux isn't great, but like you have an Ashe Leona, which is a decent early game comp, and you can still intercept them. But I would always start bot side here just because I think it's a lot easier to disrupt a Tryndamere and an Akshan.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because yeah, I went the opposite.
You went top side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's still fine. Like this Vayne is, I mean, this is just like early thinking. Like the Vayne is a slightly harder lane to gank. It's just I think that the Maud and Swain lanes are slightly more approachable.
Mm-hmm.
But like it can go either way, really. Yeah.
Here we go with this cheese,
I
which
see.
they didn't catch
I
me at
see.
first, but then I didn't catch the cane.
I
You'll
see
see.
why you wanted me to look at this game. Okay. Yeah, kind of not fortunate of your Maud and Swain to be waiting at turrets, but it is what it is. Okay, I'll just let this play out for a bit. Yeah, there's not really much I can comment on bot lane, obviously, like pre 2 minutes and stuff, because like nothing's really started. So I'm just gonna be watching in the jungle for a little while until laning phase starts properly.
Yeah, that's cool. This was a rough bot lane anyway.
Yeah, they have a fairly poke heavy. Yeah, they have a fairly poke heavy comp, and Vayne is not super fun for a Leona. I get that.
Yeah, it was rough.
I see. So you didn't know Kane was here at all.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, this is okay. I'm gonna give this is just a general piece of info. When you're
Mhm.
solo taking camps, I would typically start Raptors or Wolves if you're playing a champion like Poppy or like Sejuani or like Lilia. Because your single target isn't super great until you have your E at least. And this also gives you level 2.
Yeah, that's fair. Mm-hmm.
The only downside is that your camps are a little bit desynced when they respawn, but Poppy is about as close a tank gets to an early game assassin. You're not really looking to power farm. All your impact comes from early game. So yeah, that doesn't matter a whole lot. So starting something like Raptors would probably be faster. But you know, that's very small amount of things to worry about. Okay. Just seeing how this plays out. There's not really much input I could give it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them to rotate.
Your positioning was good. You let him tank the entire red and kind of waited
Mhm.
just fine. Oh yeah, that's. I see the problem. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Are you running? Okay, no, that was. You have
Phase.
Phase Rush. Not Phase Rush. What's it called? Nimbus Cloak. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, your mod not moving is, you know, it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna look at bot lane a little bit, but like that's, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's like, you know, like your mod moves, and if he doesn't, you kind of just need to give up on this. Like you played it well. It hurts to give up on this kind of thing because you do lose a lot. Yeah, like I would not chalk this one on yourself. This kind of situation. This is like a one-off situation. I'm sure this doesn't happen to you very often.
No, not at all. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all.
But yeah, unfortunately, you may be committed a little hard, but
Yeah, that's
is what
fair.
it is. Okay, so I take it you're doing the level 2 we ride at dawn.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
I missed,
okay.
so we don't talk.
No, it's fine. That's what Leona's best at.
Yeah. This Ash didn't
Okay,
know how to
nice.
start, but we get the
No, that's
looks.
good. Potentially a slightly late exhaust, but that's fine. Those kinds of trades are always worth it, though. You know, a first blood 1-for-1 is always good, especially if your Ash got the kill.
Yeah.
I would say this is a point where you would try to crash, but it's a bit difficult for you to do that as Leona, especially without jungler or
But
ADC help.
yeah, I didn't have my W either. I had
Yeah,
Q
which
and
is
E
like your
here.
only form of clear.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of just need to wait around, which is fine. But like that was a decent early game trade. Whoa, wait. Okay, yeah, this is what I mean by I kind of have to go between the roles. It's kind of hard to coach two at once. It probably would be better to do 2 sessions, but this is fine if you wanted to go together.
That's fine. If you
Okay.
want to focus more on jungle, you can do. Like
If I
more
do that though,
heavily.
you'll be listening to me for an hour and a half before I talk about support.
Oh no, that's fine, that's fine. I don't mind either way. Whatever works best for you
This is
guys.
strange. Why did he come back? This is psychotic behavior.
Yeah.
Kayn players, am I right?
No, this is really weird because Kayn is a power farming jungler like Master Yi or Lilia. I guess he just kind of can do that though because Mordekaiser took a bad fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a rough jungle start for you. It's like so very good Swain W. Nice.
Oops.
Do you even hit level 2 off just Krugs? I don't think you do.
I hope so.
Okay, thank God. I was gonna say. Okay, so from this point, this is such a rough jungle start. Crab spawns in 20 seconds and you have 30 CS. Okay, yeah. It's not really something you can punish him on either, which is really unfortunate because he started your Raptors. He like didn't start with a red or a blue. Like if he started blue and then went to your Raptors, it would be a bit easier to decide your next decision because then like when he dies, it's kind of obvious he goes to his red side because why would he go to the side without the buff? So you could like maybe invade. But the fact that he hasn't done either of them makes it really awkward for you because he could be literally anywhere, you know?
Man.
Yeah, so this is just a powerfully rough start. Yeah, which really hurts his Poppy as well because, you know, she is an early game champion. We'll focus on the jungle for a bit and then I'll go back to support.
Yeah, that's fine.
So something I would have slightly done differently in your pathing, which is very micromanagey. Like this is very micromanagey, but and this is a very team reliant play, but it works because you're in comms with your support. Is instead of going to your wolves and finishing your clear, I would have gone straight to the crab, just to secure that. and that could be bad because it means Kayn could potentially invade you after the crab, because I mean, this is the only side you have up. He knows that you have none of these, so he could look to invade again. But that invade isn't really risky because your bot lane is extremely shoved. You're in contact with Ileana. And also, your Ashe has an early first blood and has managed to shop, which means she is 2 components up. So an invade like this for Kayn would be super stupid. So you could just secure the crab here. If you don't, then you clear this, and he might have already gotten this crab, which would have made it even more awkward of a start for you because you would have done a 4 camp clear instead of a 7. But that's like, again, super micromanagey. Like, it's not a crazy important decision. It's just like an if he did that. That's what I would have done personally, at least. Yeah, just because your bot lane is in a good position to roam, it's worth considering that you could have done this instead.
Yeah, we got ganked by Kayn, unfortunately.
Let me just see how the fight plays out, though. See if... So when does the Kayn get spotted? Let me just turn this on. Blue side? Red side. So it's looking good. Kayn comes there.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say because you're not exactly winning this fight, but it's worth... Like, let me just see what you do after this blue. Do you just go to Gromp? Okay, you do. It's fine. I was going to make a potential comment that you could have joined that fight, but it didn't look like it was particularly being won, so I won't.
Yeah, I was pretty useless once once Ashe died. I couldn't
Yeah,
do much into the
it's
Vayne
fine.
Kayn.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'll comment from your perspective in a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it's good to recall there though, because it's kind of obvious that this crab is gone. But if you did the alternate path thing, I would have said you would have been able to get this mostly for free. Okay. This is okay. I've talked a lot for the first 4 minutes, but this is when you should need to start worrying about jungle. Like on the first back, the fact that so much has happened already is a bit of a one-off. So I will ask though, like from this point onwards, how do you, as a jungler, decide if you want to go top side or to your bot side? Because
mainly I think about the camps and the fact that they're respawning.
Right.
I don't know
Okay.
why. So
that's fair, but it's as a champion like Poppy, it's not something you need to massively consider. Because as a hyper farm champion like Lily or something, that's like what you should always do because you're a very selfish champion. You want to play to permanently farm. But as a champion like Poppy or Rek'Sai or Xin Zhao, you more want to play around where your team strengths are. And this point, that is bot side. And I say that because I know Mord is pushing, and I know he has a kill in gold, and I know your top cans are spawning, but he hasn't shopped. And this applies for the whole game, no matter what role you're in. It's something worth noting that it does not matter how strong somebody, how fed somebody is if they have not spent that gold. So your Mord has a wave of CS up, and he has a kill up. As of current, he is still weaker than this Tryndamere because he has not spent that gold, right?
Yeah.
So when you're like pathing towards an objective, like if you decide now, do I go towards Grubs or do I go towards Drake? Like even though it looks like, you know, my top camps are spawning and my Mord looks like he's in a good lane position, he's actually weaker than the Tryndamere as of right now. As opposed to someone like your Ashe, who already has Zerka Greaves and just came off of a back and would be in more of a fit position to fight. But like, it's not like there's a crazy strength difference right now, so it's like not very obvious if I should go top or bot here. I think I would have personally gone bot side. It doesn't make a huge difference as of right now. It's just it looks like your bot lane is in a stronger spot than your top side is. Okay, so do I rewind and go to support
real
now?
quick question. Real quick question. So
yeah.
down here at bot with my camps down, would I just go straight down and just hover on the lane?
Actually, yes. I can even show examples of me doing this, but a lot of the time as a jungler, I will kind of just sit around in a position and not do anything. And that's not a waste of time. People think that is a lot, but it's really not a waste of time because like you're playing around the side where the next minute or two of the game is going to play out, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like you standing here doing nothing isn't actually doing nothing. It's you preparing for where the next event of the game will take place. So like if your bot lane is strong, which they fairly are, then you can look for a fight and then look for Drake. Or wait, my brain is kind of just blanked a little bit. Yeah, or the alternative is Kayn goes top lane and he starts to do grubs, and if he takes the grubs and the node pops up, then you can just take the Drake for free. Either way, like the worst outcome is you trade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would do that a lot of the time, especially as because I play a lot of early game junglers like Poppy, like Talon, like Zac, like good gankers. I will very commonly just kind of sit and hover around and either look at my mid lane or look at my bot lane, just to see if anything potentially good could happen here. And here it kind of is because they are crashing. They are in a decent position to look for this Drake because they have wave prio coming up if they manage to crash this fully.
That's wild because
Like it's
I used to
broken.
think like that too. Like I used to do things like that or try to like hover one side even if I didn't necessarily have camps there to like be there for the opportunity of a play that I expect is going to happen. But I used to get a lot of lashback for it.
It's really not a bad thing. Another thing that is worth thinking about is actually helping your laners into stuff like crashing this lane. Like a lot of people will give you shit for taking minions and pushing waves when it feels like you're just stealing, but it's not really about getting gold for your team. It's about denying the enemy team gold. So like I will have positions even, not necessarily in this, but like just as a hypothetical, where I will come bot lane, and if it looks like we can crash and take a Drake, then I will like actually just walk up and just start hitting the minions to push this into the turret. So we have the wave prior to do this, because then either the Drake fight kind of starts, and maybe one team wins, maybe the other one wins, maybe you just both back off and no one gets it. But by doing that, the enemy Vayne misses this entire cannon wave because they need to decide: do I move up to do the fight, or do I stay here and take the minions? Right. So I mean, you might not get the Drake, but you will still be denying resources from the bot lane by doing that. Again, this isn't like a great example of that because like not a crazy amount is happening, and it's not like there's actually a massive advantage right now. But I have like I could pull it up later. I've got like very good examples of that happening. Okay, this gank's unfortunate though. Oh, okay. I have a tip for support now. Finally, I can rewind this and look at what you've been doing here. This is something that lots of people do in lower elo, where you ward because you need to ward, but you don't actually know what you're warding for. So let me turn that on and turn this on. So I don't know if this is your ward that's been placed or if this is Vayne's ward. Sorry, Ash's ward.
I think that's Ash's ward. Wait, what was it? What was the ward? Yeah, it's not mine. That's Ash's.
Okay, so maybe this doesn't help you. Actually, this
Yeah.
control ward will though. Ish. Yeah.
I was worried
okay.
that Kayn would invade and come from that wall behind.
Yeah, that's also very fair. Kayn is a weird. Okay, but then this one's kind of redundant, isn't it? Whose ward is that though? That is.
That's probably mine. Because I thought he was
my
gonna
fault.
invade.
There's just all sorts of stuff going on over here. Okay, but okay, so maybe this isn't a good example, but I mean, this is a bad ward if you're Ash, and this is maybe slightly excessive, but who knows? But
Okay.
a lot of people tend to ward because they think I have a ward up. Now would be a good time to place vision, but they don't actually think about where they're putting the vision. I'm not saying you do that. I'm just saying generally, because I haven't actually seen if you do that or not. But like for your Ash, at least this ward is clearly useless. This isn't doing anything. Like, because a Kayn's never going to gank from here. A Kayn will either gank from here and go through this wall. He'll gank from here, gank from here, or he'll wrap around, as you said, with this one and go here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is your Ash doing this, but Yeah, this doesn't really do anything. And if you are warding here, it's typically better for like a Kane or a Shaco to ward deeper. Like slightly
Yeah.
deeper into the river. But yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, this isn't your ward. I'm not bashing you for this. It's just something to be aware of, just to be actually warding against. Like, it's important to ward against champions that play differently. Like a Kane or a Shaco or a Zac will gank from this wall.
Well, I'm
And if
pretty
they're
sure
ganking from that
15
wall,
seconds before this Lux clears my ward in Tribush. That one, yeah. I had
they
a
pinged that one
yellow
off.
and yeah.
Yeah, so that's very unfortunate. That does put you in a puts you in a bad spot. But
Mhm.
yeah, against like a Kane or a Shaco and stuff, I'm sure you know this, but you want to like ward like right here or something. Or if
Yeah.
not deeper, you want to ward like here, or like up in the river.
Mhm.
But that's fine, yeah, not really your fault. It is what it is. But this is when it goes back to the jungler and you think, okay, my bot lane is about to lose a fight because Kane's there, so I need to make something happen with these grubs, right? You need to trade the objectives. So ideally, you get a good gank off, and then you can move with Maud. Nice. Do you crash with him?
Mm.
Okay, you do. Good.
Sadly.
So yeah, I would crash this as hard as I can, which is what you've done. Perfect. And then you can trade the objective. This is careless of your Mordekaiser, though. That's, I mean, obviously not one of you two, but like, this is very careless of him. This is actually really bad.
Mm.
Okay. You almost did. You almost did the perfect thing. So the whole crash here was very, very good. Because you know, wave state, it lets your Mordekaiser recall, which he didn't do, which is super careless of him because now he's in a bad position. But after crashing that wave, you know, like, it is very obvious, I think, that the Kane is taking grubs, taking Drake, and if he's not, he's kind of dumb. He's not, so he's kind of dumb. But so yeah, the Kane after winning that fight could have gone and take this Drake. In that case, you want to take the grubs and trade. And since he didn't, this is just a free grubs. You're not losing anything by doing this. This is a free objective that Kane can't answer, Tryndamere couldn't answer because he died. Like, there's no reason not to do this here. Which you do start, okay. But like, yeah, the order of priority between like grubs and crab, like, you should do the grubs first.
Yeah.
Like, if Kane didn't take those Krugs and he recalled a little sooner, like, he could have gone top and matched you. Which is hypothetical, but it can happen. It's like, you know, prioritize the objective. Also, I know I'm being super nitpicky. Again, like, you don't need to worry about like so much of this stuff. I'm a firm believer that between like iron to like mid gold, you actually like don't need to worry about how to play like any role. You should just be worrying about how to play your champion to the best of your ability. Because something like you taking this crab first and then going for the grubs, people in higher elo will punish. You know, they'll take the Drake or they'll recall and then go to the grubs, and you'll be matched here. Like, but you're not being punished for that right now for going for the crab first. Like, you really don't need to worry about everything I'm saying when you're in like silver and stuff. It's better just to learn how to play champions to the best of your ability. This is a super good crash though. I haven't seen what's happening here. You killed Vayne, I'm presuming, or she did a bad recall.
We pushed her out basically.
Nice. Yeah, which is
And I
good.
was just trying to help Ash to shove as best as I could.
Yeah, you want to shove as hard as possible so you can get a good recall off. Yeah, good.
So just either way, so she can.
Yeah, like
it.
take minions even if you have to. Just like
Yeah.
you want to crash as fast as possible.
But then
This
Ash does
is
what
doing
Ash does.
She's doing the same thing as what the Mordekaiser did,
Yeah.
where they're very much overstaying.
I'm pretty sure
I don't-
Ash dies for this too, by the way, if I remember
Yeah.
rightly.
So I'm gonna explain it a little bit. I don't know if you guys know why you want to crash and recall immediately, but like it should be. I mean, as I said earlier, like this Mord is 3-1, but he's not actually 3-1 until he spent that gold. You know,
Yeah.
like he has 3 kills, but it's not doing anything. This Tryndamere comes back with Zerka's Greaves, and he's stronger than this Mordekaiser, and that's why overextending is really, really bad. Like, yes, he could greed a plate, but if he greeds a plate, that means that he can't recall safely because Tryndamere will push this back, and he doesn't have TP. So your Ashe is doing the same thing right here by overextending. Like, now if she wants to go back and recall, Vayne is already back, and therefore makes it, and Vayne and Lux can push this back out potentially. And, you know, your Ashe is not backed on that gold she has gotten from managing to shove this wave. Like, it's not a kill. If it
Yeah.
was a kill, it would be more drastic. She gets a plate, which is good. She does die for it.
Yikes.
I probably shouldn't have gone back in either, knowing that she was already dead. Ugh.
I mean, it's fine though. You tried to make the best out of the situation. But like, even if this Ashe didn't die and she managed to walk back and recall, she would be in a really, really bad spot because they could potentially crash that, and then she would lose a full wave of minions, which would effectively render that first crash useless. You know, like Vayne's caught back up, and you know, as there's not really a lot you can. As a support, you're kind of caught in the crossfire of that if she overextends, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you much of a roaming support player, or do you just kind of stay in lane? Like, how much do you think about that?
There are two ways in which I'll roam. So if my ADC is hopeless and it's a lost lane, I will like prioritize roaming, or if we're ahead enough to do so. If it's like even, I find myself sticking around probably too much. And it also depends on objectives. I'll roam a lot with Bobby to get objectives. Like I'll meet him
Yeah,
at like
which is good.
Herald or Grubs.
Okay,
But
I'll say now.
I don't
this
think
lane
I do
lost.
in this game. Yeah.
This lane's lost. You should see it. Yeah, your Ashe got severely punished for that. Like, I mean, she could have backed, or I mean, she died. But even if she backed, this Vayne would have done the same thing. She would have gotten that additional plate because it's an awkward back timer for her. Ashe would make it back in time. So yeah, your Ashe has 5 kills plus. I mean, sorry, the Vayne has 5 kills plus an additional 2 plates. This bot
Yeah.
is kind of, you know, like your Ashe is never going to win fights from this point. And even if you do, you'll permanently be playing on backpedal. It's much better to look for the Mordekaiser who has 3 kills, or look for the Swain who has a kill. Like, everyone else has a kind of advantage. And Ashe is a good ADC for just playing safe, farming under turret. She has a good amount of util. So it's, you know, she can catch her solo experience and try and keep up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, yeah, by staying as a Leona, you know, you're just sharing more experience. You know, you can't actually really make anything happen. You die here, do you? Surely not.
I don't think I do.
Ashe does.
Oh, no, I do.
Oh, no, you
Oh,
don't.
wait, do I?
You do because of the Lux.
Oh, wait, yes, you do.
Yeah. I was,
Yes,
yeah, because I couldn't get out. I was like,
You did a
shit.
you did a lazy recall, yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, as a Poppy, this bot lane's fucked. Don't go bot.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know this. I mean, you can stop me if you do. But a lot of people go, you know, my lane's struggling. Please help me. That's not how you play jungle. You don't ever want to gank lanes that are losing, unless there's like freak. I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying completely ignore them, because there will be opportunities where sometimes the opponents will mess up and you can get free kills. But like, you shouldn't be intentionally playing around your bot lane when they're behind, because all you're doing is effectively like you're helping them catch up. But you can play for a lot more than just helping them catch up. You can like play to give people who are winning more of a lead. You know, like why try and catch up when you can push to be ahead in other positions?
Yeah.
So from this point, I would be playing around topside for the majority of the game. And, you know, as a Leona, you can do the exact same thing and you can start to roam topside. Like, this Ashe is going to be relatively out of the game for the next 5 minutes at least.
Yeah.
I guess it's a bit of a weird situation because Kayn didn't take this Drake. So you can still play around it a bit in hopes that you can secure that. But it's very unlikely, judging from the strength of the bot lane. What did you W?
Why did I W over there? To try to stop it from going over the
Oh, you know you can W blast cones, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like I was trying to stop her from
Oh, okay. You just did it a little early
upping.
then.
I did it too early. Yeah.
Oh, but you did go over with her though, so it's fine. This Vayne is a little blind.
Extremely.
So nice. You get a wait. Okay, this Vayne is very blind. Wow. Okay, that's super good. Yeah, it's super good. Um, this is where you make a Drake call. I don't know if you do, but you should make a Drake call. Wow, Kane form at 8 minutes. Holy shit.
All right.
It's a super early Kane form.
He gets out.
That's actually super good of Kane to make that. Yeah, because like from that position, you always want to make a Drake call there, and Kane disrupting your Ashe there has made it very awkward. Yeah, this Drake isn't so simple anymore. Okay. But yeah, you gave up on him when you saw it wasn't really possible to chase. Yeah, this Kane's really messed you up this game.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate. Yeah, as a support, yeah, I really think you're just wasting time by staying here.
Okay,
Like,
that's
there's
fair.
the other lanes are winning. I mean, right now it's kind of fair because it looked like the Drake was going to happen. But like, I think like rather than waiting here, you can just recall and then go look for one of your winning lanes. Like, unless that you're going to take this Drake, which if from what this Kane did, it doesn't look very likely. I would go top side, and then you can both start to play towards grubs, which spawn 40 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like support is a second jungle role for most champions, and just as much as jungle is a support role. Like, I think that both of these roles are like the most important roles in the game, period, in terms of impacting the general game. Do you win this? Super close. Oh, wow, you do. Oh, wow, you do. You really win that.
I think she gets out because Action shows up.
Sorry.
I was like,
Okay, I'm just
no.
gonna rewind. Why wasn't Vayne here?
We just killed her.
She died super early.
Yeah,
How?
we killed her here with the Ashe ult.
Yeah, good punish because Lux started roaming like when she shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was bad of the Lux. She should have helped with the Vayne crash. Okay, good punish though. Yeah, very good punish. Yeah, so Akshan starts roaming.
Yeah, and I'm out of mana, and I was like, shit.
Oh, your Swain isn't crashing his lane. Okay. That's really unfortunate. Well, yeah, the fight you guys took was really good. I mean, the only really change you could have done is leave when you see the Akshan moving. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like even if he did move and gets a kill, like your Swain should have crashed this a bit faster. He could have punished the Akshan by taking a plate, but like nothing really you can do about that. Like the most you could do is just leave the fight. Okay. Jeez, yeah, this has been non-stop fighting for 11 minutes. Okay, now this is a position where I would go topside again. I know I've been saying it before, but then like the Drake kept kind of looking doable. You've had a clean reset here. As both a Leona and a Poppy, I would reset and go topside. Because again, Maud is strong, Swain is strong. You want to play for this. You're not playing for your Ashe. You won't win team fights with her. Did you pass that? Let me see. Did you just walk here and then leave? I would just do these these grubs as soon as possible. I would do these grubs as soon as possible because for the same reason the bot has crashed. The Kane's, So you stop them. Nice. Okay. Yeah, and as a Leona, yeah, you want to be here for insurance, basically. Like in case Kane did recall and moves up, you want to be fighting here.
Hmm.
Like the same thing I said with with jungle. Like you kind of just sit around and you wait on the side where the game is. Sorry, my dog is barking. 1 second. Okay, sorry, my dog is howling at nothing.
No worries.
Okay, jeez, I'm like already exhausted from talking. But yeah, so what was I saying? Same thing as jungle when I said like you can kind of just hover around where you think the game will play, even if you're not doing anything. Like you can do the same with support, like hovering around here, even though you're not like, you're not really pushing a lane or you're not really getting experience, the game will play out here. Like if Kane recalled and Tryndamere came here, then you want to be here for the fight. So it's good of you to move like this and just, even if it doesn't feel like you're doing anything or if like you could have gone bot or could have gone mid, this is fine. Yeah, like there's no world they can contest you. Oof. That was Jesus. Whoa, what are we building?
We're going.
You going stride?
Stride breaker, yeah. Stride into dead man's.
Oh, I hate that item. I don't think that's a good Poppy item at all. I mean, there are some opportunities for it, but she just can't utilize the stats very well. By that I mean the attack speed, which I'm sure
Yes.
you know. Like it's helpful for clear, but I think it's better just to go something like one of the Sunfire items, or go for, if you want slows and chase and stuff, like Iceborne Gauntlet or something. And I think an Iceborne or I think a Sunfire Rush is what you should do in this situation. A stride is a very greedy buy. It's like a super oppressive buy in a game where you're not exactly ahead or fed enough to be able to keep taking fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's more of an itemization issue, though. It's it's whatever. Now that I'm looking at items, these Merc Treads are a war crime.
Wait,
They have
really?
absolutely. They have 4 auto
Oh
attack AD
no.
champions, and the only CC they have is a Lux Q and a Vayne Condemn. Like, I mean,
True, yeah.
even if they did have more CC, I would literally buy Tab Eyes just because they have 4 AD on hits or on hit champions.
Yeah, that makes
Like,
sense.
especially because the Vayne and the Akshan's fed. Like in fights, like a Vayne Condemn only stuns you if you get hit against the wall. Like you can't. The Merc Treads don't do anything to the knock up. So it's like just Lux Q and like just Lux E. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fair enough,
there's
yeah.
not really any CC like Tryndamere W if that ever happens to you. Yeah, so like this is 100% a tab ice game. I would be doing the same on Poppy, and if Mordekaiser did, I like this is a very bad diversity in terms of roles. Like this is something you can punish very easily with a few items, which is why I think something like a Sunfire or an Iceborne Rush would be great here. But yeah, anyways, that's something that you can easily learn just by playing a few more games and just seeing what kind of tools the enemy team has. I don't know how well versed you guys are with like every champion in the game. Not everyone knows how they all work.
I'm not very, but
Okay,
Bobby
that's
is a
fine.
lot more than I am, yeah.
I very much am.
Yeah.
Okay. Word of advice for Poppy then. I don't think you're buying Stridebreaker. You're buying it like maybe once in 100 games. There's usually always a better item for her.
Yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I can see the argument. It's just I do think there are better options, generally speaking. Okay, so this is kind of rough because the tempo of this game is so fast. And by tempo of the game, I mean how fast the game goes from early to mid game to late game. Because as an early game champion like Poppy or Rek'Sai or somebody, the most impact you have is in the early game because Poppy is not very good in team fights. She builds tanky, but she isn't actually that tanky. Like she's no Cho'Gath or Mundo, she's very much like an in and out champion. Like you go in, you disrupt like a carry, and then you do a few things and you leave. So she's I said earlier like about as close as a tank can get to an assassin, and once a turret falls or two turrets is when laning phase starts to end. And you'll notice that because like Drake fights no longer become like just the junglers and the bot laners. Like once the turrets open up and there's like no other objectives to play towards, like Drake fights and Herald fights start to become 5v5 team fights. So like by nature, champions like Poppy and early game champions like Akshan start to fall off. And that's 13 minutes is very quick for that to happen. Like this is just a very, very fast tempoed game. But yeah, that's really rough for a champion like Poppy. Like that's also really rough.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Some tough things happened in this game. It was a little
Yeah,
emotional.
I can see that. I mean, jungle has been hell just from level 1, as I've seen. Yeah, like from this point, like laning phase is over. Like jungling is going to start to become over as well. Like people are going to start to be roaming everywhere. People are just going to start taking camps. So yeah, from this point onwards, as Poppy, you're not. I mean, more on the items. You should not be building the damage. Like your champion's going to fall off, and you can't really secure very many kills because laning phase is ending. So like the most you can do is kind of be full tank and be an obstacle in team fights. Yeah, which I mean is unfortunate. Like the tempo of the game is not really something that you can control very easily. It's just like the nature of the champions and who dies and who gets kills and gold leads and pushes waves better. Yeah, it's like. But yeah, that's again like Poppy is still amazing into all 4 of these champions. So I would have just, like you're not ahead by any means. So I would just go full tank and play to be as much of a disruptor as I can. Oh,
This poor
wait,
Swain.
what item are you building? I don't know.
That is Locket.
Okay, that's fine.
I had to think then for a second. I was like, what was I building?
Yeah, I know. I
forgot.
can't really tell. I mean, I don't know support item build past that well.
Because
like,
it has
Jack Show as
magic
well.
resist in it now, and I always forget that it.
Yeah, it does.
Mhm. But I'm pretty sure it's Locket that I'm building.
So close. You could have got the action. Oh, yeah. So like, for this game at least, I'm not going to look a lot further into it because it's like the point where laning phase is ending, and unless you're a champion like Master Yi or Lilia, there's like not a lot you can do as a jungler. Like you're going to just start to become like everyone else, Like this is the point where everyone starts roaming, and as a jungler, you're no different. So like, there's not a lot of jungle teaching I could do. Like moving to the Herald and stuff is like, yeah, like turrets are gone. Like everyone's going to start to do this stuff. Yeah, the jungling phase is kind of over.
That's fair.
Yeah, for this game at least, I don't think there's a whole lot I can look at. I can like maybe judge items a little bit, but in terms of like team fights and stuff, like I mean, I'm sure you guys will know you'll just get like better at team fights as you play the game.
That's fair.
Oh no, more Merc Dreads. It's so bad here. It's so bad. I'm surprised your Swain didn't buy. Your Swain's going. What is he going? This isn't Frozen Heart. It looks like Frozen Heart, but then he has a second cloth armor.
I think that still
I
is
think he
Frozen
does.
Heart.
Yeah,
I think that
Does it
is
have-
Frozen
Does it
Heart.
have three?
Yeah.
Does it have 3 cloth armors now?
Yeah, because of the mana piece.
It's Warden's Mail plus. Oh, a buckler, of course. I'm so dumb. Yeah, that is Frozen Heart. Yeah, okay. It's a questionable buy from him, but it's good against their team. Yeah. So the most I can really do is judge items at this point.
Because I think I'm buying Frozen Heart now. 'Cause I think I buy another armor.
Yeah. Good. That item is stupid strong right now, especially into a comp like this. But yeah, I mean, both of you like swap out for tab eyes or something here. Like itemizing again is something that you will learn naturally. It's weird if you're Swain to do this. This is a horrible build. But like, yeah, Dead Man's is good. You could have lent heavier into it with stuff like the Sunfire and the Iceborne, which would have made you a big problem for these guys. As support, you can even do like Frozen Heart Rush. That's very common for roaming supports like Bard and stuff, and I would have probably done it this game. I don't know how early you bought that support component, whatever it's called. I know you bought boots first. Okay, it's like quite far in.
Yeah.
Okay, like from this point though is well past the point of seeing that your Ashe is losing, right?
Hmm.
Like you should already be in the roam mindset, and with the roam mindset, an item like Frozen Heart is much more high value than Locket, because you don't really need a Frozen Heart for a Maud or a Poppy or a Swain, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's
That's
nicer than
fair.
your Ashe, but you shouldn't be playing for your Ashe this game. She's like so out. She's like way, way behind,
That's fair.
and she has miraculously come back. Magic. Okay.
Yeah. Comeback is a loose term I would use for that Ashe. By the end of that game, when I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, why is it so dark? What the hell? Okay, that's
Observer
cool, I
bug.
guess. Must be, yeah. I mean, she's gotten a lot of kills, is what I mean, is all.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. This is a hard game to judge for jungle, especially on a champion like Poppy, because like you were messed with so much early game, which is a big disrupting thing. And again, I've given a lot of general tips for jungle, especially, and some for support, but I wouldn't worry about a massive amount. I'm like a very firm believer that just playing better will win you games more than worrying about like macro-y things like, oh, how fast can I do my clear, or like, can I invade right now? Like if I was to give one jungle tip, especially, it's, and I guess this does apply to support as well, it's just keep like keep an eye on where you should be at the right time in terms of objectives. Like if it's obvious that a fight is lost here and that they would potentially play for Drake, counter objective or counter invade. You know, like vice versa. Like if you see a free objective, take it. Like if I get a good gank in top, and like I don't know what my Kayn is, but it doesn't matter because I have a Mordekaiser and they don't have their Tryndamere, so I can get free grubs here. Like that alone is enough of a skill to put you above like loads and loads of junglers. Just knowing when to get a free objective when you see it. And support can do the same thing with roaming. Like especially early game, like you don't always, even if your Ashe was strong, if like if you recall and Ashe is like the wave is pushing back to her, you can just like go fuck off the top lane at like level 4. Like that's very, very common.
Okay.
Because
That
if you
makes
think a fight will
sense,
happen,
yeah.
like especially if the grubs like aren't super safe, like and you're trying to take them anyways, you can roam. It's a bit weird for a Leona because she's not as mobile, but like a lot of other support champions can do that. So general support mindset, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
This is a rough game to learn from. It's not a very good one for me to coach in, just because of how how many like one-off like random events like this kind of stuff happened. A lot of like really weird fights took place.
yeah, it was a weird game.
Yeah, no, I can see that. But yeah,
We do got other replays. We do got more. If you want to look at them.
I'm happy to. Yeah. If you have any other ones in mind. Oh, you're a Kindred player, you beast.
Would you say that is it worth it looking at victories in a learning sense?
Yeah. Pointing out what you do well is just as valuable as pointing out what you do wrong.
Okay. I would say probably the more recent the better, just because it's more current, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I guess any of the last three.
You want to go with one of these ones? I mean, I don't know. Just any of these games you feel is good.
Let's go with the Kindred. Let's go with the Kindred. I feel like I've used to learn Kindred.
God, okay. Kindred's a bit of a weirder champion for me to tell jungle. Frozen Hot Rush Maokai, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
We love the current meta. We love how strong support is right now.
Maokai is just so overpowered right now.
Maokai's
as well.
Crazy. He was just nerfed
He's so good.
a little bit. He's just been readjusted
he's cute.
slightly to make him better in jungle and top. But like it doesn't matter. He's so good right now.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy playing him.
I used to play him a fair amount, but like, there's only so much you can play a champion who's just a brick wall and nothing else. To me, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely get burnt out with like tanks like Leo and Maokai after a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, I'm like M7 on a lot of big tanks like Maokai Leona, and then like a few others like bruisers like Vi, but like they're so like there's only one way to play them, and it really
Yeah.
bores me. It gets super boring after a long time for me.
Yeah, if we've had like a load of lost streaks and I've played a ton of tanks, I'm like, I could not play another tank. Like, please don't make me play tank.
I
I'm
hate
like,
doing that in jungle as well. I hate like, oh great, my team has 3 ADCs. I need to go. I need to play tank jungle like Sejuani
Yeah.
or Zac. Like I actually, yeah, it's awful.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, I'll do the same pre-jungling stuff as before, where you. Oh, 2 seconds. Yeah. Okay, my dog is saying hi again. Thank God. Okay. But yeah, same pre-jungling stuff as before of like it's a bit different for Kindred because she is a power farm champion, but she's a weird power farm champion in the sense that she's like also kind of a duelist, if you know what I mean. I don't know how much you played her.
Yeah.
I'm somewhat comfortable with Kindred. She's a weird one-off champion in her play style.
I feel that. I'm looking top lane here. I at least should be. I at least should be considering top lane. I think I also, again, I also strongly consider what the support is playing, whether I may
Yeah,
be able to consistently
I,
make a
I
play
don't
off
think
of
it
it.
crazy matters which side you start in this matchup because like Maokai Ezreal's very oppressive, but Volibear is also super oppressive. Uh,
Mm,
I mean, like I guess Jinx and Alistair have a bit of disengage, and Trundle is less. So yeah, it really doesn't matter where you start here. I would probably just started bot for like the better leash or something.
mm,
Or what you could have done is you could have just level 1 invaded because you're against the Lilia, which is one of the few champions where you can almost guarantee her path because she is always starting blue buff as she goes red buff, of course.
yeah.
And Lilia will 9 out of 10 times start blue buff. That champion really, really needs the early CDR because she's a power farm champion. That being said, though, this I would still consider an invade here. You have a very decent level 1 comp. But yeah, um, otherwise, yeah, you know, it doesn't really matter where you start this game. That's just like all stuff you could do if you wanted.
I
Okay,
think
so
Sol
you start.
nearly dies.
Wait, does he? I was not looking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he nearly dies.
He
Is he going for a deep
so I
ward?
don't care.
All right, fair enough. Good for him.
Good old Sol.
Oh yeah, this champion is also way too good right now.
Yeah. Insane.
Okay, this is actually a very good jungle matchup for you though, because Lilia has got a terrible early game. She's just fast, and that's about all there is to her. Annoyingly, they have a pretty good roam comp with Alistair, Akali, Trundle, so like your marks might be a bit difficult.
Oh yeah, I didn't get a mark for the longest time this game.
Yeah, but like yeah, setting your mark on Lilia here, like 100%, like she's easy to kill more than most. He tanks 2 hits as Maokai, how kind?
I knew I could heal back up off my auto attack. So I don't mind
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah. I will. You can definitely kite a little better.
Yeah.
I don't like playing a lot of ranged junglers like Graves or Kindred because I feel like a lot of the time I'm having to pay attention to my farm when I usually want to be paying attention to lanes for early potential ganks, like level 3 or 4. But like that's just my preference. Kindred is a very strong champion. Right? I hate playing against Kindreds. This champion pisses me off, but she's a very respectable pick. Also, similar to Poppy, Kindred's kind of the opposite. Poppy, I say like start Raptors or something because you have good AoE clear and your single target's pretty poor. Kindra's the opposite. She has very good single target clear. So with champions like Kha'Zix or Kindred, focus the big one. Usually, like the little ones will die off to your wolf, or they'll die off to the your key procs. Like you'll do the camp a lot slower by going for the little ones first.
Okay.
Yeah, like by this point, the little wolves would have died from Qs or something. You know, like they'll die at the same time.
Yeah, I actually think that was a mistake. I usually wouldn't have done that, but I think like my targeting was off.
Yeah, it's all good. Again, I don't worry about clears and stuff as an early jungler. Like, it's something you need to worry about later. Okay, I like an early gank. It's nice. Rather unfortunate. Nice. Okay. Akali doesn't have TP, so yeah. Akali doesn't have TP or anything, so I would have crashed this with my ASOL, like as hard as he can, because she misses 2 waves of casters and stuff. It's a bit weird because it's like the start of the game, and you want to be focusing on your clear, but it's like more important to make the enemy miss resources than for you to gain some. That, I mean, you're gonna get these anyways. It's just like slowing your clear down a little bit. I don't know if this ASOL can crash fast enough on his own. He cannot. Yeah. So yeah, if you helped him out a little bit, the ASOL could have crashed and gotten off what's called a cheater back. And it's called a cheater back because you kind of just get it for free. It's where you effectively crash your lane so hard in such a good position that you're just allowed to recall without any consequence. It happens quite a lot on top lane, where people like get a kill and they execute on purpose and hold the wave here for a cheater back. So yeah, like your ASOL could have gotten like a good 2 waves of gold off here by shopping early, and your Akali wouldn't have been able to bounce it back in time. Also, this is Kindred 101. Crab is spawning, go to Crab. Your mark is going to spawn on one of them. Don't look for this red buff here, especially because you're Volibear and ASOL of wave prio. Like, as Kindred, you want marks over absolutely everything. Like, if I would have waited and then immediately ran to whichever mark spawned first.
Oh, okay. That's a good point.
Okay, let me go. You can look at bot lane now.
I don't think much happens. I think we both just kind of me and Alistair just nudge each other out every now and again, and the little support tank battle that you have.
We'll play on times 2 speed.
I literally don't think anything happens for ages.
This is a good position to gank, though.
Yeah, if I did go for that mouse scuttle, that would have.
Oh wait, no, wait, we were at 3 minutes. Okay, sorry, I forgot I rewinded. Let me see. You guys are just going back. Yeah, I'm not used to having to jump between times and going back and forwards between roles. Okay, so yeah, this is just a big back and forward.
Yeah.
Ooh, stuff is happening. What the hell?
Good old Alistair.
Yeah, Alistair's. I like playing Alistair. Oh, I don't like playing Alistair a lot, but he's.
I hate being against him. I lose so much against
impressive.
Alistair's.
If I want to switch my brain off and just go full oppressive, Alistair is one of those champions. All right. Another thing I'll say, this is just general support. You don't need to exhaust the ADC or the carry every time. I think you could have punished your Alistair very heavily here. This is a super premature engage. Jinx can't get in and like place her E or land a W here because of the wave. So she has to just walk up and auto. I think you could have just exhausted Alistair and you would have probably killed him like very, very easily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like that Alistair was going in. Like Jinx she's not a Tristana or anything. She can't easily engage with a champion like Alistair or Leona, especially that far up. So like like as you saw, she had to flash to keep up with the
Yeah,
fight,
she flashed and ghosted
which is good.
just
Is
to
good of
catch
her.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is good of her to do. She capitalized on Alice's play, but I think you could have really punished him for stuff like that. Like you
That's
don't need to
fair.
exhaust the carry every time because exhaust does damage reduction. Like the slow really hurts, especially like he's at your turret. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, this is making me sad. Is Lilia gonna get double crab? She is, isn't she?
Yeah,
No, wait, she does. Oh wait, does she?
Yeah,
yeah,
she for
she
sure does here.
does.
Oh, I forgot because we get one of the
Okay.
crabs later. I didn't know what point in the game that was.
Gotcha. Yeah, as Kindred, you always want to be focusing where your crabs are spawning. Like I will have supports. I've got like some pre-made support players who are like, oh, okay, it's 3 minutes 30. I'm going top lane. Crab spawning and we're against the Kindred. I'm going to go mess with the Kindred. Kindred is a very, very late game scaling ADC, one of the best in the game. And if you can shut her down, which is very easy to do, like if the enemy team just like is on top of where your marks are, you're like really thrown out of the game. It's super hard for Kindred to play. Yeah, I would always be prioritizing your marks. Like when I play jungle against Kindred, I'm just always under the assumption that when a mark spawns, she's going to beat me there. So I just need to go there now. Okay, I'm going to ask the question again of when you recall in this scenario, do you go top or bot lane?
I feel like I should go top.
I also agree with you.
Yeah.
Because Volley has a slight item advantage. This wave is bouncing back, so wait, what? Oh, I was gonna say, what was that? Okay, slight
Oh, is
visual
that a
bug.
bug? Oh, okay.
Yeah, slight visual bug. But yeah, this wave is bouncing back. Your Volibear, although he's a kill down, has spent his gold, and as I've said, this kill doesn't mean anything until you spent your gold. So your volley is stronger. He's a good early game duelist. Your bot lane, both supports have recalled. So, like, I mean, all this is a 1v1. Like, there's not much going on here. There is stuff going on here. You have lots of prio here. So something like the Grubbers is probably safer. I mean, I guess you didn't know your mark was gone. I mean, you kind of did. You saw Lilia
I
run
did.
through
No,
mid.
I did.
Yeah, I would have
I did.
assumed this mark was gone. You see Lilia running there. So I would have 100% have gone to the Grubs here as well. But I think you ran bot side, didn't you? Yeah. Which is still potentially fine. These guys are in a gankable position. But also they could just crash and recall, which would be really awkward for you. Okay, yeah. So she crashes and recalls. Yeah, in weird situations like this, like when you're leaving the base and you see a lane like this lane is already crashed. Like you're not going to be able to gank this. By the time you're here, it will bounce back. Like if the wave is like here and pushing, then yeah, you can move. But like here, I'm just going to assume by the time I'm here, the bot lane is already missing. Which is what the Jinx does. She recalls as soon as she crashes, more or less. And you just, yeah, like she's gone before the fight has started. You can't get there in time. Yeah. I mean, you didn't exactly know Lilia would be here because you could assume she would have recalled after this, but like I think this is a 2v2 at the Grubs. If Lilia was here, hypothetically, you could have easily taken. It's a bit weird if you can't really roam there as a Maokai this early because like someone needs to hold the wave. Your Ezreal should recall though, so you can hold the wave. But yeah. Again, with stuff like it's like the main skill I'd focus on is just paying attention to when I can take an objective. When is like easily the most valuable skill you can do in like most levels of jungle play. God, you know, I've done like 3 coaching sessions back to back, and my throat is so sore.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I find it super fun. That's why I do them. I'm genuinely just like passionate about like teaching and talking about the game, so I find it super fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, like I'm talking from like a much higher elo perspective, and like a lot of the stuff I'm saying is probably not going to be used, but it's like I like to talk about it anyways because like it's stuff that like even if you don't do is nice to keep in mind, and also because like I would never play differently if I'm in low elo. Like everything I would do in like diamond or emerald, I would still do in silver or bronze. So like I'm gonna teach it anyways, even if you don't do it.
That's fair.
Or if you don't remember a lot of it. Like these, I'm saying a lot of stuff I'm sure you will not pick up in a handful of games, especially with jungle. Jungle is just like such a ridiculously proactive role, like for the entire game. Support and top do have that complexity, but it usually comes in a little after the laning stage. Okay. So you had this same position, or similar position, because Lily's looking for a kill. Similar position last game with the who was it? Lowy?
I think it was.
No, it was Mordekaiser.
Kaiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you got a kill and there was a good grab take here. So I would have done a similar thing here, if possible. Lilia is not a super strong early game jungler. Yeah, you would win a fight like this always, 9 times out of 10. Okay, that's fine.
Now I know that hurt.
Yeah, it's
So
a
they
little
have
awkward.
big mid. They have big mid lane
Yeah,
agency.
they have mid prio here, and this Lilia did a good job at zoning you away from the grubs, so you don't get it. But then from this position, you should always try to be going for the other objective if possible. The time is a bit weird because she's already here. But like after a position like this, Lilia is forced to reset. Like she can either run straight to the Drake or she's forced to reset. And if she runs straight here, she doesn't have mana, doesn't have HP. So I would try and just do this on spawn, and your bot lane's coming out of base at the same time. So I would, encourage, your ADC as a support and a jungler to move with you to this Drake because it's largely free. Like the bot lane will contest you and maybe the mid lane, but like the jungler isn't here. Again, with order of priority, do this second. Like this takes an additional like 10 seconds or something. That 10 seconds, if Lilia recalled, could have been enough time for her to potentially get to the pit,
Okay. I think a big. Well, I guess it depends on how you. Would you say it's not worth it with the mark? I think a big part of it was I was
A
just
mark over a
really
Drake?
scared of
No
Akali.
way.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Not a chance. Yeah.
I think I was mostly just really scared of Drake getting contested by Akali, so I wanted to like play it safe.
That's fair. Yeah, it's not. Your mid lane hasn't made it very easy for either of these objectives because he's doing so poorly. I wouldn't. I would have still tried to look for this. Your positioning is much better than theirs. Like, hopefully, if Akali moved in Ace, I would follow the Akali, especially if you're pressing an objective. I would be pinging this guy as much as possible to move over as well. Yeah, like the main thing is that you're in position and they're not. Like Lilia, oh, she didn't recall. But like she's not in a good position to fight. She has not recalled and spent her gold, and she has not got health for this. Yeah, like I mean, the Akali is kind of scary, but you did sort of just give away your prio. Like, not really for much of a reason. Like Ezreal's fairly strong. You're fairly strong. Yeah. I think this was a Drake that you could have contested. The Akali makes it difficult, but you want to be looking for trading objectives, especially if you have to give them like the grubs here. I will. Oh, let me see how you play this, and then I will potentially fast forward. Oh, this is weird. Did no one see this Akali move? Yeah, okay, no one saw where this Akali went. That kind of sucks. Yeah, even a vision on her. Okay. From a position like this, though, is when I would go back to this Drake. the threat is gone. I mean, you didn't necessarily see Lilia recall, but ASOL is in a good position to move bot, and Akali is roaming top when she should really be roaming bot. Like roaming in any role, jungle, support, and mid is a game of objectives. It's not a game of ganking. Like her roaming to topside because topside is kind of struggling is really dumb. Because by roaming there, she is not here for this objective, which means that you guys can pressure this very easily. Like I would have seen that and ran straight to the Drake, which you might do.
Instead, I try to wrap around and gank bot and get caught.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would have most definitely like when you see like a disadvantage on the other side of the map, whether if it was Lilia here or Akali, this Drake becomes a lot more doable. Like your ASOL's crashed wave as well, like he's in a good spot. You could have even crashed with him if he was like being too slow, but like you have an extra teammate up here. This is a free Drake to take. Yeah. Also, this is just a risky invade. Like this bot is so shoved. Like it's really, really shoved. These guys can move so much easier than any of your teammates can, apart from like ASOL maybe. Yeah, invade like that's super risky. Yeah, you don't really have the prio to do so. Yeah, like there's not a whole lot your Maokai or Ezreal could really do about that. They'll never make it there in time, really. Good Maokai ulti though. This ASOL is kind of slow, eh?
Oh yeah, he was.
Oh,
He comes in when
boy.
the fight's over, just to die.
Yeah, wait. Okay, fight has started from here. He crashes. Now he should move. Does he greed the full plate? No way. He doesn't even. Oh, he didn't even commit to that. Okay. Yeah, no, your ASOL was a little bit slow. But that I think would have been a decent fight if the ASOL moved a lot sooner. Unfortunately, he didn't. Like it was a not so good engage, but you guys played the fight fairly well, especially with the Maokai ult.
Yeah, the game's
Yeah,
looking pretty dire at this point.
Oh no, this is super dire. 12-4, 2 objectives done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not a great spot.
But we win.
I mean, winning games. Oh, Jesus Christ! My dog is lying down behind my chair. I nearly ran her over.
Oh no.
Okay, but yeah, like the fact that you win this is like is like I'm gonna emphasize when I say don't worry about so much of this stuff. Like just play, just get better at like playing the champions as well as you can. Because like if you're in like Plat Emerald Elo, this lead will not go unnoticed. You know, like this will snowball so hard. The fact that you can catch up to a 12-4 lead when you're 2 objectives down. Like I mean I haven't seen the rest of the game, but like managing to bounce that back and like catch up is not easy. Like people in the higher elo know how to snowball leads like that, especially in a Kali like and a Jinx who scales very well late game. So yeah, like I'm giving a lot of micromanaging stuff, but like it's really not worth trying to learn all of it. Like the most learning you'll do around silver to gold is just getting better at like the champions you play and learning how to play team fights better and learning how to do like decent ganks or like decent 2v2s in bot. Like stuff I'm saying like you know, like how fast you can do clear or like, you know, when you recall which side do you go towards. Like that's important, but like it's not something I would prioritize learning. Like I genuinely think the only jungle skill at least you should really be worrying about trying to get good at is going to an objective when an objective looks takeable. Like that is easily the main skill I would encourage trying to get good at.
This Soul was not having a good time against Akali.
Yeah, no, this Soul's no. Wow, you won this game?
Yep.
Man, maybe I should commit to silver. I mean, your Ezreal. No, your Jinx is 4-kill lead. I was gonna say your Ezreal isn't doing so bad. Your Trundle is doing good. Sorry, your Volley, not Trundle.
Yeah, he is
Oh,
our
well.
Trundle.
Yeah. Oh, this volley was
He-
pretty good in the late game, to be fair. They were
It's
alright.
rare. It's not really a late game champion.
Yeah. He
Wow.
basically grouped with us better than the Trundle grouped with them.
That's interesting. Neither of those champions should be grouping. Both of these champions are pretty firm split pushers. Like, they're okay in skirmishes, but in like 5v5 team fights, they're both pretty bad. Unless the Volibear went like the Unending Despair, like full tank build.
Yeah, some of these fights that this Volibear survived during this
Oh
game
yeah,
are kind of
he did go full
wild.
tank. Yeah,
Yeah.
Volibear's in a weird spot right now. Healing items. I mean, we're in a tank juggernaut meta, and healing items are crazy strong, and Volibear can use them one of the best. I also had a similar game the other day where a Volibear had like 2 items could basically 1v4 and just like not die for like 2 minutes.
He
It's
does it this
ridiculous.
game later on, and he just walks out of it like nothing
Yeah,
happened.
he just sits and tanks 5 people. If he had Unending Despair, he could do it better. Like if he did that over Iceborne. Yeah, no, love that from him. Yeah. If don't follow this strictly, I'm just gonna say if you want to get better at learning jungle, just like jungle fundamentals, I would not play a champion like Kindred. A champion like Kindred or Ivan, especially, maybe Shaco as well, are champions that you have to play jungle very, very differently to learn them. Like if you get really good as a Kindred player, the skills are not so transferable when you switch to other junglers like Poppy or whoever you play. Because you very much have to change how you play because you're focusing around invading, taking camps, playing around marks. And like that's very different. Same with Ivan, you're focusing on invading, taking camps, and Shaco does it very similarly if you play a Shaco like that. Like it's a very different jungle you're trying to learn how to play. And like you can do it. Like if you enjoy playing Kindred, play Kindred. Like that's the more important thing. If you're having fun with her, play. But like if you want to like properly improve, then like champions like Poppy's a slightly weird one, but like she's still good for that kind of stuff. Like Poppy, Kayn, Nunu, Rammus, these kinds of junglers are like much better at just like general jungling. Kindred is a weird one to learn with. But again, if you enjoy Kindred, play Kindred. Like don't play a champion just because you want to learn jungle. Like play a champion because you want to have fun. Oh, so close. Okay, I have no idea where we were at, but like for the most part, enough early game has happened that like this early game has sort of been decided. Like this top turret will fall soon, I'm presuming, if not the mid turret. 14 minutes. God, I'm so unused to. Okay, let me just see how the mark spawns. Yeah, because like when I'm telling you about Kindred stuff, I'm going to be encouraging more Kindred things than actual jungle things. Like here, you should always go to this mark, which is weird because most people would just do their full clear, or they would hover their top lane. But like if, for example, if you had 3 marks, then this mark might spawn at Gromp or something. And that's what I mean by Kindred plays so differently from other junglers, because like most junglers will not look for a random invade like that.
I see.
This is a pretty stale game for Maokai though. It's kind of weird. Because like this Ezreal's never exactly behind. Like the Jinx is strong, but like
I was really sad here. I was trying to get on her, and I kept getting
that's
slowed.
really
I
sad.
was like,
That's so
no.
sad. That's so sad. Yeah, it's a weird game for Maokai because you're kind of just playing a lane, like a slow lane. I don't really think roaming this game would have done much for you.
Yeah, I was useless here until really till laning phase was over, and then I was able to be a bit more useful. But in lane, I was pretty stuck.
Yeah, I've been so like 90% focused on jungle. I actually want to like rewind and focus on support stuff a bit more because I've
Yeah, yeah.
like this has been very one-sided. I've like not really
I don't
taught a whole
mind.
lot about support.
Whatever's good for you. Good for you guys. I don't mind.
Doesn't even be good for me. I'm meant to be helping you guys. I don't care.
Oh no, I meant more like the order to do things. Sorry.
I don't know the order. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because jungle has been at this point like fairly one-sided. Like we point out most of the stakes. I'm gonna go back and then I'll focus on more Maokai, my support Maokai stuff. Whoa, big numbers. That's an interesting ward. Okay. So one of the reasons Maokai is so ruthlessly broken in pro play is because he is a human ward. It's so hard to gank Maokai's. Maokai's have some of the most map control out of any champion in the game.
Oh really?
Oh, absolutely, and it's entirely your E. Maokai's E is so stupid. It just like I feel like it just shouldn't be in the game as an ability.
I
Yeah, it's a
definitely
lot
don't
like
use it well enough then for that.
use as a
For
combat
sure.
tool more because it's not a combat
Yeah.
tool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like you can. It's
Yes
like
and
placing
no.
a
It depends.
throwing a Maokai E in the middle of a fight is like placing a Shaco box in the middle of the fight. Like everyone's gonna see the box and everyone's just gonna walk away from it, or like they'll kill it, or something.
Yeah.
But what I mean by this is Maokai is a very good roaming jungle, and I say that because he has a good gap close of his W. His Q is very good for CC and lockdown, and his R is also a very good engage tool. But his E is so good at getting map pressure. Like his E lasts, I think, 40 seconds right now, unless it's been nerfed again. It used to be 45. It used to be 50 actually, like a year ago.
They didn't drop it in the last patch, so I think maybe 40.
I'm expecting this champion to get nerfed soon. I mean, he
I
did
would
just
be
get nerfed,
so
didn't he?
sad.
Oh, he did just
Yeah,
get
his
nerfed, but
Q,
like,
his Q and armor got lowered.
yeah, which is not Maokai's problem. His problem is his E. So, but yeah, so why I say Maokai is such a oppressive support is because it's so hard to cover bases Maokai's guarded. Like Maokai can E from here to here, and that's a second ward for 40 seconds. You have a ward there.
Yeah.
Like you can throw a sapling here. Like very commonly, I'll be like, nice, I can do a Drake here. Like the enemy team has no idea I'm here. I'm playing Kha'Zix or somebody, or like a Shyvana, like an enemy, like a jungler who can take the Drake really fast. And I'm like, I can do this quickly. Like they have no idea I'm here. And there's just a Maokai sapling sitting right here. It is so frustrating. Because all of a sudden, that Drake, I'm like, I can do a stealth Drake here. It's not safe anymore because the enemy team knows I'm here. It's just a random fucking sapling that has an 18-second cooldown. That's what I mean by he's very oppressive. And you can do that all over. Like, like
Like I do,
having,
but probably not as proactively as I should, for sure. Like it's not a common thing I do.
yeah, like it's a very powerful tool. So like right here, when you respawn and you return to lane, this is more Maokai coaching than support coaching. But I guess as a support, you can do this with wards if you buy control wards or just standard wards.
And I play
But
a
like
ton of
right
Maokai,
here,
so that helps too.
okay, yeah, but like right here, you come out of base, Ezreal's being shoved in, so like you're not really gonna fight here because your jungler isn't here, and these guys are kind of looking to recall anyways, so they just got to kill. So you have a little bit of free time where Ezreal can kind of just AFK farm, and you can move around a bit. So like right here, Drake's coming up. There's a kindred mark on a crab. Like you can just run over here and check it out. Even if there's nothing happening here, you just walk over, throw a sapling like right here, or like right here. Actually, no, probably not there. Like here or here or here. Probably here because Drake. And then you just walk off, go back, check mid, check bot. Yeah, you can do it with a control ward or a sapling. It's just Maokai can do it very well because of his sapling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate this champion. So good.
Yeah, he's really fun.
He's super fun, don't get me wrong. This is post-rework Maokai as well. I don't know if you played when pre-rework Maokai. He was so much stronger.
Not really. No, I don't
He
think I
was
did.
reworked. I mean, it's been years. I think he was reworked.
Oh,
Like
then no,
season,
I've only played for like 2 years.
I think it was like
No.
season 8 or something. But Maokai used to
Oh,
be like a
yeah.
pretty firm top laner, and he had such a fucking good ult. They reworked his ult. Everything else in his kit's the same. But yeah. Just kind of letting this play out a bit. There's not really a whole lot I can say here. It's just kind of stagnant.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like in moments like this, I would be trying to help your Ezreal crash because your Ezreal really needs to back. I would be queuing the wave, Eing the wave, like throwing saplings and stuff in the bush here. Like you're zoning Alistair away as if he's gonna 1v2 you. So like stuff like helping him crash and focusing on the wave so he can recall would be a bit more important.
That's fair.
Like if your ADC complains about hitting minions taking the wave, ignore him. You want to crash, which you don't get to do here, which hurts. But yeah, again, like this is a dead time for you as a Maokai. Run around, throw some saplings. Like you don't have eyes on this Drake, so throw a sapling here. Throw two even. You've got time before Ezreal comes here. Like there's not like this is just dead time that you're spending.
Okay.
It's bush time. Hell yeah. Okay, this Alistair is kind of funny. Yeah, but like it's like a
Alistair's
good like.
tilt me so much. Like, so much. Nothing tilts me more than an Alistair.
I don't blame you. But yeah, so this is like a good 40 seconds. All you ended up doing is waiting for Ezreal, right?
Yeah.
So like you could have warded, throw a sapling here, throw a sapling there, and then that's like 3 choke points in the jungle you covered. And
Okay. Yeah.
as a Lilia who's on her bot side and maybe trying to play for Drake, that can be very frustrating when a random sapling is sitting in the corridor.
That makes sense. Yeah. I definitely need to utilize his E more than I do, for sure.
Yeah, his E is his strongest ability, no question. It's so powerful. The same reason like Ashe E. I hate Ashe E. It's so annoying when you're like looking for a top gank and then a random hawk shot flies halfway across the map because she felt like throwing one for fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just see this. So, I don't know a single Alistair that doesn't run Hex Flash. I'm pretty sure every Alistair player would run Hex Flash. And I mean, you can just press tab and see it. But if an Alistair walks into a bush like this, it's not because he's recalling or something. If he recalls, he'd walk back. Like, it's because he's potentially trying to look for something. So like a Hex Flash WQ on Ezreal, which he does, yeah. Yeah. And Maokai's a good champion of negating Hex Flash as well. Like champions like Rel and Rel and Maokai really bully Alistair a bit. What am I saying? Champions like Alistair and Rel kind of struggle against Maokai because they are Hex Flash dependent to engage. And someone like Maokai can throw an E in a bush and then they can't really Hex Flash from a decent area, Like they would have to, like they're always going to be under vision. You will always be able to see when they're going in. But like,
Okay.
if you don't have this Eid, like, and you don't have a sapling or a one here, just generally speaking, like, if a Maokai walks in, or sorry, my God, I'm getting names confused. I'm saying so many different champion names. But like, if a Rella and Alistair's walking into that bush, they're probably trying to do something.
Okay.
Okay. It's a decent trade, I think. Oh, that hurts though. Did Ezreal get greedy there? Like, I mean, I think that's a good engage there. Like, I think you're gonna die either way. So trying to commit to a kill is super good.
I
Yeah,
saw
this
that we had
is
the wave as well, so I wanted to like capitalize on the wave that was there.
yeah.
If
No,
I
I
could
think
trap
you
the
did.
minute.
Given the situation, given that Maokai, that Alistair. Oh my God, names. That Alistair engaged over here. Like, I think you did the best of your situation. It's unfortunate that Ezreal got hit by the Jinx W, played it a little carelessly, but yeah,
Mhm.
that was a very
It
winnable fight. Not,
happens.
I don't think there's, I mean, not really anything you could have done there apart from like maybe be more attentive of the engage, but like, yeah,
Mhm.
if you maybe played it a tiny bit better or your Ezreal played it a tiny bit better, that was a one fight. Yeah. Okay. Similar stuff to what I was saying earlier, where like the wave's kind of crashing and you're kind of just waiting of Ezreal. Like moments like this are again moments as not just Maokai, any jungler where you can kind of be trying to get a bit of vision and looking around, which is what you are doing, which is very good.
Yeah, Alistair's annoying. He just tanks everything I do and still
Yeah,
gets the ward. It's so annoying.
and he gets even tankier at level 6.
I know. Next up, get down.
Yeah,
Just
you're very scared of them. I'm just trying to think of why exactly. Okay, Jinx just hit 6, like literally right now. Um, I'm trying to think actually. I don't know whose fight is weaker here. She has full Zerkers. Okay, no, so you are weaker, which makes sense. Okay, never mind then. Yeah, this is a kind of rough lane where you've just like not really had the chance to do a whole lot. Like, I mean, I guess you could have abandoned the Ezreal and started roaming. Like, Ezreal doesn't have the greatest wave clear, but his farming is very safe with his E, and he has his ranged Q, obviously. And you could start to
Yeah.
play for something like the Volley Bear. The annoying part about it, though, is that the Alistair hasn't left. Alistair's also a very good roaming champion, but he's also a very good dive champ, which kind of puts the Ezreal. It doesn't really put him in danger of his E. Yeah, no, roaming's pretty okay here. Like, I think this would have been a very solid game, at least after this streak starts to go
Yeah.
hard on roaming.
Mhm. I'm also a little hesitant into an Alistair because when I engage, he just knocks me back off again. So I tend to wait for an Alistair to engage before I engage.
Yeah, the annoying thing about
I get
Alistair though,
nervous.
if he W's you as a Maokai, I'm pretty sure your W doesn't let you catch up. I'm pretty sure his W pushes you further than yours catches up to him,
Oh my gosh.
which is super super annoying. Because like Maokai W range is like what's it? It's like here to like here ish, right?
Mhm.
Like Alistair W kind of sends you the same distance. So yeah, it is a semi frustrating matchup to look for fights in, but y- Alistair shouldn't be able to do a whole lot against your comp because of the nature of Maokai's E. Like it should be very hard for him to engage. Like I have played games against certain because I play Alistair a tiny bit. I've played games against champions like Maokai or like against Shaco supports where it's just impossible to look for an engage. Like there's just no way I'm physically able to look, and I like actually start roaming at like level 3. Like I just recall, I'm like I'm going top, like solo farm. Like I won't be able to do anything in this lane. Like you can very much disrupt. Like even though you might not be able to always fight him because his disengage is really good, he should also never be able to engage. Which is a bit weird because then you're kind of at like a stalemate point. But as a Maokai, that's good for you because Alistair is relatively an early game support. Relatively speaking, Maokai scales better than this guy does. So like going even's fine. Like Jinx scales late game, but so does Ezreal. Like yeah, playing
Yeah.
passive in a lane like this is completely okay. So like he's a very good champion at denying a lot of that kind of stuff. And if you're not looking to do that because your Ezreal's already behind, then doing other things like looking for your Volibear who's relatively strong still, it might be worthwhile.
Okay.
I'm like paranoid I'm boring you guys because of that last person I was talking to.
No,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
fine. It's all
Like you
really
get
good.
coaching is a lot of talking, but like it's a lot of talking. Like I can understand it's kind of boring at times. Oh, that's a nice visual bug. Yeah, like an opportunity like here, where Drake goes down and Ezreal was kind of walking back up to this. Like you're gonna go bot here and kind of just hold the wave. I'm presuming.
Yeah. I think I would, and then yeah, I think. Oh no,
Yeah, but like
Jinx
again,
decides to
like
run
what
at
can
me.
you do as a Maokai against the Jinx? So like an
Yeah.
opportunity like that where like you see this happening, like she could either keep pushing this or she could recall. But as a Maokai, you're not going to engage in her. Like you can maybe catch like the 3 caster minions if she does recall, but like it's probably more worth it to go topside where your Kindred is to look for a 3-man. Like especially good with a Volibear, like a Volibear who's like so good at turret diving because of his ulti and stuff. Like you can look for 3-man dives and stuff like this, which is very common, like more than you think, especially in times like this where there's no objective here and there's no objective there. Like you can just like send 3 people, like even 4 with ASOL top lane, and like you won't get punished for it because there's no objective on the map for them to be taking. Like he was in a good,
Yeah.
he's in a relatively good spot too. Yeah, like you're leaving base now as this wave is crashing, and I didn't entirely see where that guy actually was. He's leaving base. Wait, Volibear did that in like 3 seconds. Yeah, this Volibear's strong. Jesus. How did this play out? Oh, I see. But yeah, like moments like this, like they're hard to predict, but like similar to jungle when I say play where the game is going to play. Like there's nothing wrong with just kind of hovering around here and waiting for something to happen, even if nothing does. Because I mean you're like hovering here waiting for something, or like you're hovering in lane waiting for something. So like you could at least by going top like have the potential to make a play happen. And like right here, one definitely opened. Like if you were here instead of down here, this is a very free dive, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's
And like especially with
pretty
Kindred,
cool.
if Kindred came with you, like this is a great dive to take.
And I would. I even go up there myself, I think.
What did you say, sorry? You're a little quiet.
I said, and I would. I even went up there myself, I think. Just with the Volibear. Oh no. I would try to save.
Nope. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, like this is a rough position for a Trundle. Trundle is also an early game duelist like Volibear, and he's significantly losing. Like you can really push that kind of lead Volley is having. It's just weird of Lilia, because grubs are spawning.
Just a wild Jinx ult to the face, which was
Yeah.
always fun.
You look to kill him here, or do you just go straight to the grubs?
Just take one hit, Molly. Just take one. There.
Ah, you could do the first hit as a kindred.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Your Volibear's half health. He doesn't have ulti, but like as a kindred, you've got good range. Like you can just Q backwards and you're out of turret range, and you also have your R. You don't have your R. I'm lying. I swear the tracker said you had it just a second ago. Okay, but yeah, you can engage it as well. Like you're not really in any danger. Well, yeah, that's fine. Minor thing to worry about.
Mhm.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay.
The Fedicali
You
arrives.
do have your R. What is going on with the tracker? It says your R's on like.
Spaghetti code.
Wait, is that 15 seconds? It's wow. But Kindred has 3-minute ult cooldown. This is so wrong. That's like halfway done. That's like 90 more seconds. And this is saying it's 15. Yeah, the tracker. Yeah, this is a bit of spaghetti code here. So you did have your ulti. Okay, strange. But yeah, the only other thing I was going to say is from seeing Lilia in bot lane, because she's been hovering here for no reason, you get the kill on Trundle, and I would go straight to the grubs, because no one can contest this. Like your Volibear he could recall, or he could help you, or he could just get solo plates. But like your Volibear is kind of the carry right here. Giving him solo plates is fine. Like I think it's more worth your time to prioritize an objective or something like that.
The Sakali. Jesus.
Yeah, she's like 5-1, was it? 6-1 at this point. That's ruthless. Yeah, you won this game. What the fuck?
I know. Right?
Surprised the Sakai didn't just spiral out of control. She's level 10 so early. And does Trundle go mid? He does. Okay. Laning phase is kind of over by this point. Everybody gets first turret. Yeah, I don't really know how to teach Kindred from this position when laning phase is over, because you very much play similarly to an ADC does. Like a lot of the things you're going to be doing is from this point onwards is moving with your team to try and take marks, and then moving with your team to try and take objectives. You're not really a 1v1 skirmisher that can catch people off guard like a Rek'Sai or somebody. So like when laning phase is over from this point and it no longer becomes so easy to invade because people are roaming all over, you're likely just going to be power farming and setting up for objectives and power farming. Okay. I'm actually so verbally exhausted. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot more to pick apart in this game apart from like team fights and stuff, which again, you will just get better at the more you play. There's one thing that hasn't happened in Jungle, which I kind of wish did. It happens quite frequently, where I get to discuss the value of a gank, which is weird that it hasn't happened. And I have one I could show you if you. I mean, I don't know if you guys have anywhere to be. Kind of been here like an hour already.
I'm
2
very
hours.
good.
Oh my god! What the hell?
Jesus, the time went quick.
Yeah, no, actually. I can quickly show you an example if you guys would want to. If you want to leave, I get it. It's been so long already.
Yeah, sure. I can watch it.
I'm down.
I've been showing people this game. Let me quickly turn this off so I don't show you my account details. Like something, this happens in a lot of games. I'm surprised it didn't happen in either of your games. Where in Jungle, I like one very important thing is talking about like what do you actually gain from a gank. Because a lot of people just assume a gank is about getting kills and getting the gold from kills, and that gold helps you kill more. Okay. So if you check out my stream, which I think I turned back on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just loading.
So this game I had earlier has some very good examples of not so much support. There's not really a whole lot to pay attention to. It's a lot. Actually, in fact, my support was pretty bad at rotating. He was a great Thresh player, but he was a bad support player. So I'm playing bot side. I'm pre-made with this Draven, and I'm going to skim
Okay.
over this very, very quickly. So very early on, this is like I'm still doing my first clear. I've only done 2 camps, starting my third. But very early on, around now, this Thresh gets a super mean hook on the Lux, I think. Any second. Yeah. And this results in first blood. And I mean, I don't know if either of you guys know how Draven works so well, but Draven can manipulate gold very, very well. This champion goes out of control when he has the gold lead. So I was pre-made with this ADC, and he was trying to crash the wave because this is a significant amount of gold already for a Draven cashing out. Like as you can see from his passive, he gets a bonus 130 gold, which is quite a lot early game. Like he can probably back on a serrated Dirk already or something in 3 minutes. So he's trying to crash this so he can recall and get a serrated Dirk, which will give him a good item lead. And he's telling me, which he starts doing, like as a Draven, he doesn't have very much single target. Sorry, he doesn't have very much wave clear. And like this Thresh isn't helping him shove. Like he's not helping him shove at all. Like he cannot crash this wave on his own. Like it's just too slow. Like a Draven doesn't have that clear. So what I do as a jungler is, when I say the value of a gank, I mean like what it actually does for you in terms of the game. So I finished taking my crab and doing my standard clear. And most people here, as a topside jungler, you think, okay, do I go for a top gank or a mid gank or potentially an invade or something? Well, it's a Rammus here, so I would never do that. But, you know, like Jax is kind of in a good position to gank. They're both on half health, really, and Jax and Vlad still has a sum. So, like, okay, maybe I can get a kill. Maybe I can burn his flash. But, like, that doesn't really do anything apart from burn a flash in this scenario. Like, even getting the kill for me or Jax doesn't do a crazy amount in this scenario. Same for Tristana, but like Tristana has her W, and neither me or Yone have CC, so it's not a very good gank. It's not a very good one for me to get anything out of. So instead, what I choose to do is I literally ignore both of these, and I run straight to bot lane. And the reason I do that is because my Draven was struggling to crash. Like this wave still isn't crashed. It's kind of coincidence that this fight broke out, but like in an instance that they were just power farming, I want my Draven to be able to crash this wave so he can recall for free and get his gold advantage as fast as he can. Yeah, this whole fight that broke out is kind of an exception. It's a bit strange for a fight to get dragged up here, obviously.
Yeah.
Why is my FPS chunking? Oh, that's why. Got that on. Okay. So yeah. I mean, this isn't entirely crashed, but it's the same effect because the Jhin died. So he misses a significant portion of this wave. And my Draven is now able to recall freely and come back with, as you can see, because Draven is a very fair champion, we're 4 minutes into the game, and he buys a serrated Dirk and Berserker's Greaves. 4 minutes into the game. And I asked you this earlier as a jungler, like, as a support and a jungler, at this point, you should. My recall took a while because Tristana was messing with me. But like, as a support and a jungler, this is where I'm like, okay, like, I'm going to be focusing on my Draven basically the entire game. Like, a Draven with these kills can become absolutely cataclysmic. So, like, I could go top for grubs, and this wave is bouncing back. Vladimir is on low HP, and Jax is full. So, like, this would bounce back and potentially lead to a good gank. But the more obvious play to me is to just continue going bot lane and keep playing for my Draven.
Yeah, that makes sense. A Draven either loses hard or wins hard. There's no in between.
Kind of. He's like make or break snowball champion. Like he's so dependent on gold.
Mm-hmm.
And here is a good example of when I say like I'm hovering around the map for the next minute or two because I know the game is going to play here. I do that exactly here. Like there's a ward here I don't even know about, and I stand over this ward for a long time, but it doesn't really matter because I know that all the action is going to happen here. So I'm waiting either for something potentially decent to happen bot, like a dive, and suicide dives are something I like to do a lot. They can actually be very beneficial, or for something to happen mid, so we can get this Drake.
Mm.
So I am like for a good however long, just literally waiting. And there was a threshing gauge here, but I wasn't in position for it. Like this whole time, I'm just looking for a fight, like for 30 seconds, looking for a fight so we can secure the Drake. And that happens there. I wasn't even a part of it. But the fact that I'm here means we can get this without worrying about Rammus and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, things like that. Like, I mean, I could have gone top lane and I could have like 2v2'd the Vlad and the Rammus with the Jax. But like my Draven is so strong already, so like why not play around him?
Yeah.
And like for a lot of this game, you're going to continue seeing me just keep going bot lane, even though it looks like insane to go bot. Did I recall? No, it's after this. Where is it? Takes me a while to recall. Oh wait, no, I have recalled. Where is it? At some point, I swear. Okay, here. So only at this point, now that there's no objectives, do I start to worry about my own clear. Like from this point onwards, like I can go bot and continue forcing kills and stuff, but like, you know, I'm also fairly strong. Like I have a bit more time to do my full clear. Like, and if I didn't, Rammus could potentially like just permanently invade me, keep all these camps down, and then I'd be accidentally letting him get ahead. But this whole thing plays out. I think we get a kill, which is whatever, and then I almost die here because I have no idea why these guys are waiting. But yeah, like my entire blue side is up, right? And I'm recalling. But if I'm correct, I think I go bot lane again. No, that's after this. Okay. It's when the Drake spawns next. Which is when... here. Oh, it's after this because I die. Okay, respawn. Okay, so this is like the same scenario as before, where like the Jax is fighting and this is crashing, so I could like potentially gank and get grubs. But like the exact same thing as I have a Draven who's still so strong, so I literally repeat what I'm doing. I'm just like camping bot lane this game. And like my support should be doing the same thing. Like this is one of those games as a Thresh where you just never want to roam really. Because
Yeah.
play around this Draven always. Like he's the Hail Mary. Like why wouldn't you? He's got like such an unfathomable lead. And my Thresh dies, and I'm pretty sure the Yone dies as well. And this is a kind of jungle tracking thing, but like it usually a Drake like this would be gone because it's now a 4v2. But you can just pay attention to see the Rammus is careless and he leaves. And similarly to your last game where you saw like Lilia in bot lane and stuff, and there were like multiple times where you could have gotten the grubs. This is that kind of situation. So like I see my Rammus is going to a side of the map where he really shouldn't be. So I instantly want to contest this because I know he's going for the grubs. So yeah, I'm like we can still play this because I know Rammus isn't here. And we get a pretty sneaky kill, and then this is free. Like, even though there's only two of us, even though Jhin might still be nearby, Tristana might still be nearby, like Rammus is not here. And we can pretty easily take a 2v2 with a 4-0 Draven. But yeah, like random opportunities where you will just be able to get free objectives are so frequent. Like they happen in so many games where you can just like pinpoint like, jungler's bot side, grubs are spawning, take them for free. Or jungler's here, Drake is here. You know, like we can just go take a Drake. Like there's a lot of chances where you'll like if you like just focus around, just pay attention to your lanes, you will just see free objectives all over the place. And like it's I believe like one of the most important things to be tracking as a jungler.
I see. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, so like I've recalled 4 times this game or something. So like I've been out 5 times, and only one of those times did I go top, which was when there was no objectives. Every other time I recalled, I went bot lane because I'm just hard investing in my Draven. Like I'm a Talon, and yes, a Talon is good with kills, and like I could play for myself, but like why would I try and get fed myself when I already have a carry? You know, like
Yeah. Mhm.
might as well play for the carry that's already there instead of like going to do my own clear. Like my own clear like helps me, but like I'm not playing for me. This is the win con. Which is a weird concept to get behind. And not every jungler does that. Like certain junglers like Master Yi and Kayn and Lilia will play very differently. It's just like Talon, a lot like Poppy, is an early game jungler where the most of your impact will come from the first 10 minutes. So, you know, like this far in, I've got 3 assists. Like I'm not getting the kills. Oh, 2 assists. I'm not getting the kills. My Draven is like, it doesn't matter if I'm not fed. Like the kills have gone here. It's the same effect. Like the gold is still going somewhere. Like I don't need to carry. But yeah. Oh, I won't go through any more of this. Like, it's just like the start of this game, which I think is pretty decent to learn from. And just seeing how like me and Thresh permanently play bot lane, and because of that, we get 2 Drakes that were basically uncontestable. Like there was like nearly nothing the enemy team could do about it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That
back
makes
out of
sense,
this now.
What's up, Drake?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was really good. Yeah.
It's so much info, as I've said. Like, don't worry about a lot of it. It's good to know. I wouldn't like actively focus on a lot of the stuff. Like, oh, I could potentially, do like that thing I said. Like a lot of the stuff is like good just to know in hindsight. Like if you, for example, if the enemy like jungler takes grubs or something, and then you're like, oh, I could have probably done Drake in that window. He was going grubs because I saw him top lane. Like you'll slowly start to see the things I'm talking about, and you'll pick up on them. Same with the support. You'll like if you're playing support and then you wait around lane for 30 seconds because your ADC is like respawning or something, you'll slowly start to realize like, I probably could have roamed around and tried to look for Prio or go top lane or something. Like it'll come naturally.
Yeah.
The more you play.
Mhm.
By the way, if you need any Poppy tips, I play this champion a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of Poppy.
I've got
see.
look at the Eternal. I play this champion quite a lot.
Hold on.
But
I'll share
yeah.
it real quick.
Okay, I won't hold you hostage here any longer. I've been talking for literally 2 hours straight. What's this?
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell? I don't want Eternals. I'm looking at the master.
Oh wow, you also play a shit ton. Jesus.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
is.
that's so much higher than all the other
She's the
gems.
one.
I love her. She's so much fun. You get that? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll stop that there.
Mhm.
I'm verbally exhausted.
Thank you, though. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, good
Yeah, it's all good.
information.
I find it fun, despite how tired I sound. I enjoy coaching. It's super fun for me.
No, it's really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I know this was
I
so
need to.
jungle rather than support. I am happy.
Oh no, that's fine.
I'm happy to teach support stuff as well. I did used to be a support main like a couple years ago. But
Yeah, well, if you're ever down and haven't had so many coaching sessions in a row and you're not as
today's been
tired,
weird. I mean, I told you like I was trying to like I was like going between 3 people, like you guys included, where I was like trying to book times and then people just weren't lining up with those times. I'm like, oh my god, I'm just gonna be going back and forwards forever.
but yeah, whenever you're
It's
free in
completely
that,
fine.
we're
Yeah, no, of
I'm
course.
happy
If
with
you
whatever.
I mean, and the same other way around. If you've got like a game or something you want to show me, or just tips and stuff, I'm happy to answer. I have a lot of knowledge on this game, and I enjoy sharing it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's all good. You guys take care and good luck in your next games.
You too.
Thank you, and you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.